Friends, think about it every day. More than 100,000 planes take off into the sky, and the number of passengers is measured in millions. And the interesting thing is that almost all of the flights pass without any problems. The plane is, in fact, the safest means of transportation in the world. But sometimes everything doesn't go as planned. Sometimes technology, experience, and modern systems cannot prevent such tragedies. And we have witnessed hundreds of major plane crashes in history. So, what is behind these crashes? Just technical malfunctions, or human errors, or the power of nature? In this video, we will look at the biggest crashes in aviation history together, but in a different way, in simple language, with explanations and visual support. Not to scare you, but on the contrary, to show each crash was a lesson for development of aviation. If you are ready, let's get started. The worst plane crash in history happened in 1977. Location: Tenerife, one of the Canary Islands of Spain. Because airport was very busy that day. Because a bomb had exploded at another airport nearby, and all the planes were forced to divert there. The airport was small, but suddenly the largest place in the world, two gained Boeing 747s had to land here. Now imagine narrow runways, crowds, congestion, and on top of that very thick fog. The pilots could hardly see ahead. A 747 belonging to the American airline Pan Am was moving slowly along the runway. On the other side, a 747 belonging to the KLM company was preparing to take off. The air traffic control was in contact with the pilots, but there was a communication misunderstanding. The KLM captain, despite the tower's order to stand by, began to take off without permission. He didn't see the Pan Am plane advancing in the foggy air, and within seconds, tragedy struck. The two jumbo jets collided, and the result: 583 people died, making it the worst accident in aviation history. After the incident, the communication rules were completely changed. Now the pilots and tower speak in only previous sentence, leaving no room for misunderstanding. Although this tragedy cost thousands of lives, it was a great lesson for the safety of future flights. Terrain. Pull up. In June 2009, Air France Flight 447, flying from Rio de Janeiro to Paris, disappeared over the Atlantic Ocean. There were 228 people on board. The flight started normally, but in a closed area, the airspeed sensors, pitot tubes, froze with ice. This device measures the speed of the plane, but when they freeze, they give incorrect information. As a result, the autopilot turned off, leaving the pilots in complete control. The devices show the contradictory information. One shows a low speed, the other a fast speed. In confusion, the co-pilots raised the nose. The plane into an aerodynamic stall and crashed into the ocean. No one survived. After the incident, airspeed sensors were updated, and more attention was paid to instrument malfunctions to pilot training. In March 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 shocked the world. The Boeing 777 was flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. The first hour of the flight was completely normal, but then it suddenly disappeared from radar. It was impossible to contact with pilots, nor was the location of the plane known. It seemed to have melted in mid-air. Intel searches were conducted in the South China Sea, but no trace was found. But why? The answer is still unknown. Some say a technical malfunction. The communication systems could have suddenly failed. Others point to the human factor. In subsequent years, some remains were found on the ocean coast, but neither the fuselage nor the black box have yet been found. But one question remains unanswered. Where did MH370 disappear that day with 239 people with on board? Perhaps this mystery will never be fully solved. Every tragedy leaves pain and questions, but at the same time it strengthens the aviation. Because here no mistake is forgotten. Each one becomes a lesson. When we board a plane today, we should know that the systems and technologies we see are the result of those lessons. And yes, flying is still the safest way in the world. So which of these crashes do you think is the most mysterious? Tenerife, Air France 447 or MH370? Write your opinion in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like it.